But I'm doing this because we've got the wrong people in office. We all know it. I don't have to preach to you about it. You already know. You could probably tell me yourself, and you could run for this office yourself, and I don't doubt it, because most of the people in this room are here because you care. So let's talk about a couple of the issues and what they mean to me and what they mean to you. First of all, you got, they're calling it the Kerner tax, and I know he hates it. So I'll be polite this one time and call it what it is, AB 46. You all know what it means, what it's going to do to our community up here. As I've talked to a lot of business owners that I know a good portion of them, it's going to drive sales to Carson City and other places, because people, if you're a construction guy and you're buying $20,000 worth of lumber, and you can save that 0.25% sales tax and go to Carson and get it, why the hell wouldn't you? You're going to save money. So that's one of the problems with it, not to mention what it's going to do to us. And on top of that, you're talking about increased property taxes. You know what that's going to do to you. It's like you haven't done enough. How many people do you know, that I know, and how many people do they know, they can't fix their roof, can't fix their car, can't do the things they normally would do? They're not even going to get their hair cut like they used to do, or going to see the dentist. You can go get a dentist appointment anywhere pretty fast now. Why is that? Because people are waiting because they need to hang on to that money. Yet we're going to take that thing and throw that on all of them and say pay more. We know that's wrong. They know that's wrong. They're doing it anyway. Now let's talk about the next thing. Common Core. Do I need to say anything about that? Does anybody want to ask a question about that, or do you already know? You've been preached to here by a very capable guy. I never met John Ippolito before until I was here a couple weeks ago. Heard what he had to say, so he intrigued me. You know, I'd heard a little bit about it, but I thought, you know, I'm going to check, make sure that what I'm hearing is so. Well, I went on the internet. That's not exactly the best place to go for sources these days, but you can get some fast answers, and then you can go see if it's correct. It stunned me. I raised 3 kids here in Nevada. They're all 6 years apart. Don't ask me how that happened, but they're all 6 years apart. And I was an active person at school with my kids. So was my wife. My wife's a full career nurse at Renown. She's an RN in the NICU. So she's seen some of the horror stories we all hear and talk about. But I spent a great deal of time in school to make sure my kids were learning the right thing and being protected. And I went in and had many arguments with people, principals, vice principals, and some teachers, not all, who basically thought they had more rights for my kid than I did. And so I pressed it and pressed it and pressed it. Well, then I looked at Common Core and I thought, are you really kidding me? Do you really want your kids reading this filth? Because that's what it is. To say nothing about the scholastics of it, you know, math and science and everything else, and what that is or isn't compared to what we want it to be. But when you take a look at some of the stuff they're reading, I'm stunned. I'm really stunned. I printed this stuff, I showed it to my wife, and she looked at me like I made it up, and I said, this is for real. They're reading pornographic stuff in 10th grade, taking the books home, reading in front of the class. Really? My God, if you were a young teenage boy in those days, you probably thought, geez, this is great. I mean, you know, whatever. But in the parents' eyes, I'm a parent now, and everything that I thought was so great when I was a kid isn't so great anymore. But I never thought they would visit it on us. Well, they are. So I'm totally against Common Core. One of the things I'm going to do if I get elected, I'm going to do every damn thing I can to throw that damn thing out of here. Because the people down in Carson City should have never said yes to it. None of them should have said yes. We all know that, right? So that's the question. If they're not saying we should get rid of it, then what the hell's wrong with them? What's in it for these guys down there that they're for Common Core? What could possibly make them want to have that?
The grant, $11 million.
I didn't say it, you did. But it's true, right? It's this. And the power that comes with it. There's nothing special about me except for I've got the passion to stop this. That's what it is. I'm carrying your passion with me to Carson or wherever we go, for however long it takes. Can I do it all by myself? Hell no. No one person can, but can you go down there and stir up the passion, make people feel guilty, push the issue so much that they have to address it? That's what you got to do. And some people might say, well, okay, so you get elected office, what are you going to do? Do you really know anybody that has all the answers to all the problems we have? You just have to have common sense. And you have to have been raised with a work ethic, and you have to understand what you need to do when you go down to that place and represent everybody that sent you. Isn't that why you're there? You're not there to go and say, hey, it's all about me. No, it's not. It's all about you and what you want a person to go do when he gets down there.
Thank you.
All right, I'm running for 26, guys, and you need support. I really do. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Yeah, and then we suddenly woke up one day and said, what the hell did we do? Well, you gotta take it back. How are you gonna do it? We can't do it by one person, but we can sure do it together. You get enough of us to go down there and let them have it every day. They're not gonna be able to take it if we continue with this. And I think that's what we gotta do. And I think that you can't send somebody to Carson that says they're gonna do this, like Randy did, and then they do that. And ask the question, why would they do that? That's what you gotta ask. And the answer is?
Money.
Yes! I mean, if you can't make it on your own, you go get a political office. Great. What a wonderful world. Yes? Yes? Anyone else? Is that it?
Thank you.
All right, I'm running for 26, guys. I need your support. I really do. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Time, Lisa, do you want to say anything?